Hey, hello, good evening. Another edition of Jay's Tools. In this edition, I'm going to be speaking about truck accounts, how they work, how it benefits you. Um, really, the reason why I love my industry so much is because nothing's going to take me away. Okay, and you're going to hear these rants on YouTube of this guy saying, only buy from Amazon and, this, that, and save so much money. And dude, the world works on relationships. That's how your business operates, is on relationships. If you are an independent repair shop, and let's say you got a great boss and you work for him, and he's the guy ordering the parts and he's the guy answering the phones, and it's his face that's dealing with people, he has a relationship. And because they know him, they bring their cars, hence you have a job. Okay, Amazon may do great things, but they're never going to be fixing cars. So the relationships with the customer, the same thing with mine. That's why the number one reason why I'm in the business is because you can utilize relationships, find solutions. It's absolutely magnificent. So I'm going to deal with two sides of the fence here: how the customer sees my business and how I see my business, how it all kind of rolls together. And I'm going to warn you, this is going to be cut and dried, cookie cutter simple, and it may not be how it is everywhere, but it is in its most simple, boiled down form. Okay, so tool truck shows up. You don't owe the guy anything, and you need something like this awesome Noco jump pack. In fact, now it's time for me to plug this thing. Only buy a Noco. Why do I say that? It's because this thing has a copper clamp, okay? They don't skimp. If it says, the tool says that it can produce 2,000 amps, the question is, can the clamp do it? This bad boy can. This thing's all copper. They don't skimp on stuff. These things are amazing. I have some critics that say, oh, those lithium jump packs, they don't even work. I said, well, show me the clamp. It's like, show me the money, dude. Show me the clamp. And when it's some pop riveted plastic garbage with a little paddock, yeah, anyway. Noco makes the best. Just buy that one. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay. So you want to buy that awesome thing. It's $300 and you put 50 bucks down. Okay. So you have $250 less. You agree to pay 50 bucks a week. Every time he shows up, you give him 50. Every time you give him 50. And guess what? 6 weeks, you're done. Okay? You've paid it off after 6 weeks. Pretty simple. Now, here's my business. Okay? I'm going to have 200 customers every single week just like that. That means I've got to have $60,000 on the street. And if I collect 50 bucks exactly from 200 people, I've got $10,000 on Friday. And you guys are going to go, those tool guys are so loaded. They got so much money. Now calm down. $10,000 on Friday seems like gangster money, and I get that. But there's bigger picture here. I gotta spend $5,000 to $7,000 just to buy more tools. I mean, remember, guys, I gotta buy 200 of these suckers to generate money. So to me, this is like planting seeds in an orchard, in apple trees. Okay, I want to plant lots of seeds. I do not want to take all the apples at once, because when you guys shop on Amazon, you got to pay 300 bucks right then and there, and then they're going to give you their alleged free shipping. Okay, ouch. But tool guys, we take payments. In fact, most of my payments come every other week because my customers get paid every other week. Anyway, that being said, there's big money on my side of the fence. Okay, 10,000 on payday, 5 to 7 to buy more tools, but I'm not done yet. There's lease, loans, operating costs, expenses. I just put tires and brakes on this old girl. So, there's a lot of money coming out of my pocket too. But let's say my truck's paid for. Let's say my business loans are paid. Let's say that, I'm sitting in a good situation. I am able to get anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 that's mine. Now, your new tool guy that just started out with that awesome, sexy truck, and he's got the loan and everything, that poor boy's got some bills to pay. I mean, I put $100 every other day in the fuel tank. Lease payment on this truck, it's a 2015. This week she rolled over 50,000 miles, so she's quarter through her lifespan. Lease on this is almost $1,500 a month. So, anyway, got some big bills on my side of the fence. But let's get back to what's most important. It's 200 customers. Okay, I want the relationship with my customers, and I want to be able to give them solutions to their problems, to promote, to support. Tool trucks will never go away. That brown UPS truck may roll all over the place, but as long as there's a guy to support, to explain, to demo, to be reliable, it's like money in the bank. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of shops I really like to go to, see every single week. Every day when I print out the route sheet, I look down it, and sometimes I go, oh crap, that guy's gonna give me a fit. And then there's others I go to, can't wait to share stories. Anyway, so I also want to explain a little about truck credit, because that is something that you guys like. This is what I explained in an earlier video. You know, you want weekly consistent service, timely repair your tools, a neat and clean truck that's well displayed, well stocked, be a highlight of the week, show new products, offer solutions, follow up on your requests. And then there's truck accounts, which we just explained, and tech credit, which I'm going to highlight here in a little bit. And then there's lease plans, and of course we'll take the one payment plan all you want. So back to tech credit. And yeah, there's these guys that just, they say how evil interest is and how high the interest rates are, and they go on and on and on. And you know what? I feel their pain. This is what I figured out, okay? And it stabbed me like a knife. When I needed this truck, because my other one was blowing up, I called my lease guy, and I said, dude, if I can find an owner for this truck, what can you get me into? And he says, Jay, good old buddy, the day you pick it up, we'll give you 4 weeks, and then after 4 weeks, you just start making your lease payments. I went, sweet. Because usually it's first and last down. You know, that'd take me $3,000 just before I could even pick up this thing. But to get 4 weeks without a payment, I'm like, sweet. So I was so excited. It was a 5-year lease, $1,500 a month. So after my first year, I was doing the math. I'm like, oh, God, gee, I've made some big payments, man. I made some payments. In fact, let's figure that out really quick. So $1,500 times 12 equals $18,000. And I bet, wow, that was $70,000. Man, I got like $55,000 left. This is going to be sweet. I call them up and I said, what's my balance? What's my balance? And they said, your balance is $68,000. And I went, didn't I sign for $70,000? What's up with that? Boys, that's their paycheck, and they took it first. Okay? So, now that we got the salt in the soup, per se, let's talk about some exciting things. The reason why I do this business. Let's say, for example, I'm lucky enough to sell $500,000 in just 1 year, okay, of tools off this truck. Okay? Times 5 equals, it's $2.5 million. $2.5 million off this truck. And let's take this to your scan tool, your welder, whatever you're going to buy on credit that's interest bearing. It makes you money, boys. It makes you money. That's how the world goes around. Now, trust me, when I get all this junk paid off and I save up some money and I do this and I do that, I want to start paying in cash. I really do. You know, I think that's great. I've paid a lot of banks, you know, all my life, all kinds of stuff. I would like to get to that point, but I'll get there. So what I'm saying is, interest isn't super evil and end of the world. As long as you use prudence, you know, and I love this truck. The only thing I've had to do is put tires and brakes on it. You know, I've had a cheaper truck where I was fixing it every weekend. Yes, the interest rate was lower, but it was more effort on my side. So use prudence, use wisdom. Cash is king, but just because you got to pay some interest on some stuff, as long as it makes you money and as long as it fits the budget, you're golden, okay? So, enough about that. Back to tech credit. This lovely little orange box right here was purchased a year or so ago to a customer that bounced to the other side of the city where I sell tools. And that dealer got him to sign paperwork on the toolbox. He was paying interest. Yeah. He had a place to store his tools. He had it kept it locked up. He could keep it organized. It helped him make money. End of the story. But he kind of copped an attitude because his dealer quit. Okay? We get into that. That's just a mindset thing. He was blaming the world and quit. Okay? So, this guy said, well, I can't make my tech credit payment because my tool truck ain't here. So when he got the phone calls from tech credit, you know, saying, you owe us $230 for back paying. Well, when you get that truck to stop here, then I'll start making my payments. I mean, maybe you guys have heard this before, okay? It's a bunch of malarkey, okay? In my opinion, when we get back to this truck payment stuff, yeah, go ahead and burn your dealer, because you shook his hand, there was no contract, it was a gentleman agreement, okay? If you lack integrity and want to be a shyster, screw the guy. Screw the guy, okay? It just happened. I had a customer that was in Colorado, bought $400 from the Cornwood dealer there, left, came back to Idaho, came home, per se. Just because the Cornwall guy in Denver and I were friends, I texted him, I says, what does Billy Bob owe you? $400. I said, well, email me some paperwork. I went to the customer and I went, hey, remember Colorado? He's like, oh yeah, I think I still owe that guy money. Yeah, butthole, you do. Guy, no integrity. Now here's the tough part. The customer's like, well, could you buy that and put it on my truck account? Well, number one, you're being deceptive, okay, trying to cheat somebody. Number two, what's in it for me other than convenience? So how I believe is, if you told the guy you're going to pay him, pay him. Be a man of your word, grow up, do what you want to do. Now back to this, I can't make my payment because my truck didn't show up, okay? There's another side of this. If you have that attitude, I just have one question. What day does Verizon show up? Because you signed papers there. You know, what day does your car, whoever you're making a truck payment from, your Lithia Dodge per se, I don't know, whatever bank, do they show up on a day and collect money? No. You signed a paper. You signed a paper. So, in fact, these people, Tech Credit called me and said, Billy Bob, 6 months past due, go get it. So I called him up. I said, I'm going to need to pick up your box. And he was kind of cordial about it. In fact, he wasn't even there. He didn't have to consent because I was taking it, because that's part of the paperwork. And so I gently stacked his tools on the workbench because I'm not going to take his tools. And that's how he makes his living. The box was what I needed to get. That's what I got. And I'm going to make a deal to somebody else. So as long as we can be men of our word, or individuals of our word, meet our commitments, there's a lot of money to be made. I mean, technicians who pay the price, who get the tools, who become invested, who they get a benefit from it. And the saying I say to my customers all the time when they complain about the price of tools, I say, you know what, Burger King is hiring and they provide the spatula. Because if you don't have your tools and your knowledge, you're going to make minimum. And there's a hill to climb in the industry. There's a amount of knowledge you got to gain. There's a amount of tools you got to gain. But seriously, a good auto, or a good guy that can fix stuff and use tools, is extremely handy. I'm grateful for my skills every day. I worked on off-road diesels for 8 years, and there's a lot of things I can fix. There's a lot of things I can figure out, and I got a lot of tools to use if I need them, and that's the good thing. So anyway, let's keep our commitments. And there's nothing wrong if you get over your head. You know, I've had lots of guys get cancer, horrible things happen. You know, a guy, his wife passed away. He was suffering from cancer. He left work for a month to take care of things. I'm like, dude, let's worry about this in October, okay? Let's just take care of your family. And even Tech Credit, let me throw kudos to them. That's our Tech Credit. That's our people who finance things, okay, for us. These guys are such studs. I had a guy, my best customers, motorcycle accident, you know, broke his hip. He got glued, screwed, and tattooed and put back together. He was out of work for 2 months. They held it. They froze his account for 2 months. And you know what? We didn't produce any papers. I didn't have to email papers to him. Amazing. Okay? They took my word for it. It was so cool. So, and with my Tech Credit people, you can call them on the phone. They're going to answer. You can lick a stamp and mail them a check. You can have them do an automatic withdrawal from your checking account. Okay? You can pay your tool guy. There's so many ways that you can do it. So those people who are complaining and have excuses and like to blame people, they're just not going to make it to the top. Hate to say it, but so short story is, life is good on both sides of this paper. You get what you need, I get what I need. And I'm about 3.5 years away from making some decent money and having fun while I'm doing it. So anyway, please subscribe, tell your friends about this. I hope this was helpful. Hope I didn't get too negative off the deep end, because life is positive. Life is what you make it. In fact, Stephen Covey in his 7 Habits book said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. And What I'm saying is, let's say, for example, you're helping your dear, sweet grandmother build her garden shed, and she's an angel, and she's going to be baking you an apple pie when you're done, and she's out there with you, and you smack your thumb right with a hammer as you're building the shed. That's stimulus, okay? The response is to say a bad word. That's the response. But really, between that time, you can choose not to. If you respect her and love her enough, you won't do it. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. And that's something I'm going to work on. I've kind of let my hair down and was complaining about my business. And that's the last thing my customers want to hear about is my problems or my this or my that, you know. And I had to apologize to a customer today because he wanted a deal and he wanted to get a discount. And I said, hey, bro, help me buy some tires, damn it, you know. I still feel bad about that. What I should have said was, I'm here for you. I'm going to help you out. Thank you for your business. Anyway, you guys have a good evening. Thank you.